Hi, my name is Nikki Lurzak. I'm the Instructional Services Librarian at Genesee Community College, and this video is geared towards CRJ 101 students working on their career assignment. So we're on the college homepage. We're going to head to the library. Once we get to the library, of course, we're going to head to the course guides, of course. And once you get here, you'll see among the tabs at the top, there is one labeled Career Resources, and that's because there are many majors where students have a career assignment. So this is for everyone. On this guide, there are a lot of different things, but you'll notice that we are promoting the Salem Press Careers Collection. That's at the top, and there's a carousel of images from the covers of the books, and I can wait for something to come along that looks promising. There aren't a ton of books, but there are definitely a few. Careers in Law, Criminal Justice, and Emergency Services would be spot on for us, so I'm going to go there. Now, there are about 20 or so jobs. And if I were looking for a parole or probation officer, I'd be very excited and I would see, oh good, there's an entry for me. Obviously, if you don't see the career you're looking for, we'll probably have to search for it, but if you get lucky, hooray. And what's good about this is that it covers the basic categories of information we'd like to know about careers. What's the environment like to do it? What sort of training or education do I need? How much money will I make? How would I reach out for more information? So there's some standard information about a career. And if you use this in your assignment, then you might want to cite from it, and they do give you, as many do, a suggested citation. The library does have a citation guide, which you might want to refer to make sure that whatever tool you're using is giving you a good citation, and most of them have some kind of an issue. On page 4 of my guide, you can see here is an entry for a Salem Press item. It starts with Heller H, so who wrote it, when, what was it called, in which editor's book was it from, and who published that book. So this is what it should look like. Sometimes they do a really great job of it, and you can see that this isn't too bad. I have my who, my when, what's it called, the editor, the book. They gave me a little more than I need here. Salem would be sufficient. So this is actually a pretty good one. It's not perfect. This needs some capitalization work, but it's otherwise great. So copy, paste, check it against our guide. If you want. If you don't, you can always come back to the library's main page, and you are welcome to reach out to us, phone, email, chat when the library is open. The library is just closed, so this is currently unavailable. Or you're welcome to come in person if Batavia is convenient for you. So I have a book. I got some information. It's not the only book, though, so I'm going to head home to the front page of this database, the Salem Press database, and I'm going to put in parole or probation, because maybe I haven't decided which officer I want to do just yet. And I'm going to search it. And I get a lot of results. I get 2,000 results, which is way more than I really want. And it's because it's not very limited at this point. It's looking everywhere. So I would want to make some limits, specifically to their career items. All the careers are fine. And I would want to see that those words, parole or probation, show up in the title of the entry. That's that blue part right there. So when I search again, now I've only got 4, which is much better. And there's the book we just looked at. Here's one that doesn't seem to be remotely on topic, but I don't know, maybe it's somewhat on topic. But you can see I also have an entry from Careers in Protective Services, as well as Careers in Psychology and Behavioral Health. I'm going to go up to Protective Services, and you might be wondering, how different could it be? It's the same job, right? Well, each entry is a little bit different. So you can see now there's a section here called Wages with Union Membership and Job Outlook with Job Prospects. This is different. So I strongly recommend you try to find at least 2 entries, if you can, for the career you're interested in, just because they may be different from one another. Again, the citation tool, sometimes it's really bad. This one is really bad. You never start with a date, so this is one we would need to do some work on. But it's a good starting point. All right. Besides the Salem Press database, we also have a database that is vocational and career collection. And these are articles that are strictly about vocations and careers. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put in parole officers and probation officers, but I don't want something that has both of them. I want something that has one or the other of them. It could have both, but it's definitely got to have one of them. So that's what the or does. It's different from the and. And I've got over 200 articles that mention probation officers or parole officers. At this point, I could add other words, right? Words that I'm interested in, salary, or maybe I would go with wages, or maybe I would think about pay scale, right? This is something to think about. What are the words that describe what I'm looking for? I think salary is a pretty good one, so I'm going to combine that one. And that's not bad. So I do have salaries and probation officers, so I could take a look at this article, short arm of the law. And because it's an HTML article, it means scroll down and I will find my article. And, well, short, it's not terribly short. This is actually a pretty decent length. And you can see wherever officers and parole or probation shows up, it's bolded. Or salary. Salary would show up bolded as well. So I probably missed where that was mentioned. I do see something about pay. Salary. Oh, salaries. There we are. So salaries showed up. So if I use this article, I thought this was a really interesting article, and now I want to cite the information that I found. There is another citation tool in here. I'd have to scroll down a little bit to find the APA. And there's my who, my when, what's it called, where did it come from, some page numbers. It's not perfect. Again, we've got that APA style sheet, and we could take a look at it. These are likely to be newspaper, magazine, or journal articles, so we would have to figure out what it is so that we make sure that you're following the right format. But this, again, is our starting point, so it's not a bad place to start from. Lastly, if you are able to come to Batavia, I'm going to suggest that you take a look at what's called our career collection. And there was actually a picture of it right there. This is not all of it. This is some of it, but not all of it. And if you can't come to Batavia, because these are print books, that's not really going to work for you. But we can search just in those career books. So there's a drop down here for careers. And now I could come over here and I could say, all right, well, I'm looking for law enforcement or police or cop, right? All the words that might describe what I'm trying to find. And I've got 27. So I see there's law enforcement, there's cop. Oh, I didn't think about public safety. Okay, so that was another possibility. But so these are all books from our career collection, which you could take a look at. You can scan. If you use one, again, there's another citation tool in here, so I would just scroll down a little bit. There's the citation option, and again, you'll want APA. And again, it's a starting point. It's not perfect. It's missing this person's first initial. Otherwise, it's okay. It's not great. It needs a little work. But if you have any questions, you are welcome to reach out to us. Please do. Otherwise, good luck with your assignment.